Back in Sydney, I'm trying to savour every last minute from this boat ride. Even though there's really no purpose to it anymore. We booked it for the hour, I'm making the most of it. But while I'm in town, I might as well check out one of the iconic forerunners of Australia's craft beer scene, the Lord Nelson Brewery Hotel. The Lord Nelson is Sydney's oldest continually licensed hotel, and I'm going to meet the founder and publican, also a real character, Mr. Blair Hayden. I'm at the Lord Nelson Brewery Hotel with the great man Blair. What a pleasure to be in your acquaintance, if I'm saying that right.
Well, indeed. Well, I don't know if acquaintance is what you're looking for. But,
That's a good start, Matt. Well done. This place goes back to like 1835?
1841 it was first licensed, but you're right. It was built initially as a residence, and the merchant that built the house saw the light and turned it into a hotel or a pub in those days. And in 87 we put a brewery in and made it Lord Nelson Brewery Hotel, the oldest existing brewery in Australia now.
There's a great range here, and Lord Nelson was one of the forerunners of the modern ale with a hoppy twist. The pub, not the old English man.
And it was about giving herbaceous flavours when they weren't supposed to be there. So in the early days when 3 sheets arrived, the hop we used was a floral hop, and people would walk in the door and say, well, what's this shit? And we said, well, actually, this is what you get from making natural ales. But really, I guess we were sort of 20 years ahead of our time.
But Blair had the foresight and stuck to his guns.
I lived in the UK for 5 years, and I saw and experienced some great British pubs, and I figured that architecturally this is an example of perfect colonial British architecture, and therefore it deserved to have an ale brewery in it, and we only make top-fermented beers.
While lager is bottom-fermented, old-style ales are top-fermented.
Natural ales, they alter. Like a wine, vintage will alter.
Right.
And that's the exciting thing about making ales to me. We always expect to get the same result, but we get a little bit of variance. A lot of people misunderstood, I think, what we were doing in the beginning. Now we see the craft brew scene as being extremely exciting, innovative, and advanced, and that's what's so exciting about what we're doing now.
You would have slowly seen the rest of Australia catch up to you, kind of.
Well, I figured that way, but as I always said in my rugby career, I was very fast over 3 metres.
Yeah, it's those first few metres.
Well, that's breaking the gap.
Yeah, that's right. Put a gap in them.
Yeah. We're very proud that this pub was called Lord Nelson. Horatio Nelson was a very famous sea captain.
Having lost an eye and an arm in battle, Lord Nelson fought to his death in the Battle of Trafalgar, often regarded as Britain's greatest naval victory. Ah, history. That reminds me, this show's about William Buckley, sort of. The main reason he's famous today is because the saying that, I don't know if you know the saying, you've got Buckley's chance. Yeah.
Or who gives the Buckley's?
Do you have You've got Buckley's.
Because I think those that try to achieve things that are beyond belief at times, you know, that's why Buckley is a great Australian, and how good is Australia for knowing and bringing back these wonderful sayings. And this hotel's all about conversing. So you meet, you talk to your friends, you get on. So now I get guys home and say, Dad introduced me to this place, and it's still an institution for him, as it is for me, and as it will be for the next person. And what I try to maintain is that it never changes, but it does. It evolves, but you walk back and you go, it's just the same as I saw it last time. You know, the brass is always polished, although you've been dirtying it up.
Not just polished brass, but Blair's the kind of publican that makes sure there's always fresh flowers out.
Because you know the little things matter, like that, like the back page of the newspaper and the dunny. Just to let you know, the Swans just beat Geelong yesterday by that much.
All right, Blair, leave the footy out of it.
I admire the craft brewing industry over the years that I've been in it. To see it evolve to the freedom it is now is really, really special to me, and it was just a dream to offer something different to the mainstream brewers who dictated what we drank, you know, all those years ago.
The two staples here are Old Admiral and 3 Sheets, the yin and yang as Blair calls it.
3 Sheets being a light herbaceous pale ale, but Old Admiral, which is our dark ale, and higher in alcohol, but also what is really exciting about this beer, it has this Christmas cake spice that no one else can sort of produce, because we hold a bit of yeast back in the bottle, you know, when we package this beer. is that it ferments within the bottle and ages really nicely.
You are one of the great characters of Australian beer.
It's been said, I wouldn't say it. Thank you, and it's been a great pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure chatting to you.
Because it comes from the heart, that's why.
I think it's a bit, well, I don't know where yours is. I think it should be a little higher than that, but I can tell if I lived close by, I'd be in here a lot. We walked in and you had a beer and mine and the crew's hands within seconds. Beautiful hospitality.
Thank you.
I possibly will never leave this place.
Well, you're welcome, because there are 5 rooms upstairs. And I will give you a discount rate, of course, but...
Cheers for having us. I'm going to sneak upstairs for a feed, I reckon.
Anyway, thank you.